Okay, for today's video, I'm going to talk and discuss about linear function. Linear function. I'm so sorry with my penmanship. When we talk about linear function, we are referring to lines. Since a line, so it is straight line. Okay. Suppose we have our Cartesian plane. We have y-axis and our x-axis. Our x-axis right here. So our x-axis. So we are referring to line, since if what we are going to do is I'll just label it 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, just like that. We have -1, -2, -3, -4, and we have also 1, 2, 3, 4, and we have also -1, -2, -3, and to infinity. Okay, so now if I'm going to draw a line here, it is hard for us to know what exactly the equation of this line. So we need this equation, mx plus y is equal to mx plus b. Okay, so our m here is our slope, and our b here is our y-intercept. So y-intercept. Okay, now I want you to know, if we have a line, let's say this line right here, I want you to know that this line, we could determine the slope of this line. So what I'm going to do is I just put this dashed line here. This is our y, meaning the change in y, and the change in x right here. Okay, change in y and the change in x. Okay, so I want you to know that this is the formula for the slope, the change in y relative to x. So we have our m is equal to y over x, or simply m is equal to rise over 1. Rise, so we are talking about y, and run, we are talking about the x. So now, since you are all since you have already understood what is the concept of slope, so now I'm going to discuss about the y-intercept. So we have our b in the equation, y is equal to mx plus b, which is the equation of a line. So actually this is a slope-intercept form of a linear function. Slope-intercept form. Intercept form of a linear function. So here, what I'm going to do is to locate the y-intercept. The y-intercept is just when x is 0, then y is our what? Y-intercept. So if we have this, if we have y is equal to 1 and we have x is equal to 0, then our y-intercept is 1. That means when this line is crossing y-axis, and the intersection of this has that coordinate, let's say 0 and -1, that means our y-intercept is -1. So that is when y is crossing the x-axis, the y-axis I mean, that means that point where the line passes through the x-axis relative to the origin, that means that is our y-intercept. Okay. I just remove this. So now, what if we have this equation? Y is equal to 2x plus 1. So how are we going to graph this? So let's draw a Cartesian coordinate plane. Okay, let's label this. We have 1, 2, 3, 4, and we have also this -1, -2, -3. So you have 1, 2, 3, and -1, -2, -3. So I want you to know that our y-intercept is what? 1. So where is 1? Positive 1. There it is. So we have to plot a point at the y-axis wherein x is 0 and y is positive 1. So from here we are going to determine the slope. What is the slope? We have 2. That means our m is just equal to 2 over 1. Beginning from here, we got to move upward 2 units. Let's say 1, 2. And we got to run along the y-axis 1 unit. So here we got this coordinate 1 and 3, and here we have 0 and 1. So all we have to do is to connect these points and make a straight line. So this is the equation of this line is just this. Y is just this. Y is equal to 2x plus 1. So let's verify it using Geogebra.